What up, everybody? I'm Chad,
I'm Jake.
and we're part of Monte's Gems, a very, very special podcast.
Some might say.
We thank everybody for coming back, joining us for another episode. By everybody, I mean our siblings and whatever other listeners are out there in Sturgis and space, the United States. This week is going to be a mashup of a whole bunch of things in terms of topics. So I'm going to be coming back to Michigan here at the end of June. And vacations have always been tough for me. So it's like I have all these expectations of what I want vacation to be and what I think I should do. It's like, okay, should I go visit friends? Do I just stay at home because I want to? I know my family misses me, and so I want to be able to be a part of their lives, and I want it to be special. But sometimes when we go back home, well, when I go back to Sturgis, what was my home, it's really difficult to just be stagnant and not really do anything because Sturgis doesn't really have a lot of things to offer versus when we all go to somewhere for a vacation like our family did in October to where we all went to Disney and it was just we're experiencing Disney for the first time all by ourselves. So there was just a lot of opportunities in there to do a lot of different things, a lot of new things. It's all of our senses. Like you're seeing something for the first time, you're hearing something for the first time. Maybe you're smelling a food that you had for the first time. A lot of our family had never been down to Florida, so that was something new to them, being experiencing a new state. And so it's just really, really cool when you go on a vacation to see somewhere new or you get to do things that you can't do in your own hometown. It's very enlightening. But when you go on vacation back to a place that you're very familiar with and your family's there, I think sometimes it's very easy to just be stagnant. It's like I'm taking 5 days off work, so I want it to be enjoyable. And when I was thinking about this vacation and how it to be enjoyable, it's like, you know what? I've never really done a good job of trying to plan things out. It's mainly been, okay, I'll fly in this day and we'll just figure it out each and every day. And I think with such a large group of family members, it's like if everybody else is just kind of waiting for someone to call or to make a decision, then it comes around to the next day and it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's like, what are we doing today? It's like, I don't know. Everybody was just waiting for everybody else to determine what we're doing today. And now I realize it's about plans. Like if we were to go to a new city and a new place, like we would want to make sure, okay, hey, what are we planning on doing tomorrow? Like what's everybody want to do tomorrow? Whereas when you're at the same place, it's just like, well, we'll stay at home and we'll do whatever. And so thinking of planning out going to an escape room or going to a baseball game or going golfing and those types of things, it's really helped me to, I think, get a little bit more excited about this um, time home because it's stuff that I can like actually look forward to instead of worry about like, okay, well, what are we going to do? It's just like, okay, well, let's talk about what we're going to do. We have, 20 some days in advance to be able to talk about it, to discuss it, and then to really get an idea of when are you available? When are you available? Because right now it's just like there's an unknown. Who knows who's going to be available on what days? But the more we can plan and prepare for those things, I think the more enjoyable it can be. And I think as I'm looking at this vacation, that goes for a lot of different things, like how we plan, whether it's trying to have a new job or even the weekend, right? So we have the weekend coming up, and I think I've been someone who is just like, oh, the weekend's here. And it's like, well, I'm going to figure out what I'll do tomorrow, where it's like trying to make those plans. So in a couple of weeks, I think that I'm going to like make a plan to go to Busch Gardens in Tampa and just go do that versus just hoping that at some point in time in my life I'll be able to go to Busch Gardens. And it's like you gotta plan it, you gotta prepare for it. And I think that's something that I've never really done a good job of is making plans. It's always just kind of like maybe waiting for others or just flying by the seat of my pants, just kind of like waiting to see what tomorrow brings and go doing. And it's like you don't really ever come out of your comfort zone or try anything different if you're always just waiting for other people or I guess just kind of doing the same things. Like if you're in Sturgis, Michigan, and you don't
Mm.
really ever drive out of Sturgis, Michigan, you're gonna just try to familiarize yourself with that city, and that's all that you'll be able to do. Um, so then, in regards to this vacation, I was thinking deeper. It's like, man, there's not that much to do, and so it's like, well, maybe it's not so much about what I do, but it can be more about what I want to get out of it. And once I started thinking about that, I was like, man, I haven't laughed like really, really hard in a long time. So I would really like to like laugh. I would really like to just be around and laugh. And it's like, okay, well, how do you create laughter? And so, this is something I would like a little bit of your input. When you think of maybe some of the funniest moments in life that have happened, or the things that we talk about when we share those memories and those stories about, like, where did a lot of those things come from? Are there any, connecting points, I guess, maybe? Are there any commonalities between those things, that if you put yourself in this situation or you do these types of things, there's a good chance that there's going to be laughter? And I thought about, like, games seem to be one of the things that just goes over and over and over, where there's funny moments. Like, I remember the one time I came back home and me and you bowled against Josh and Isaac, and we made a bet that whoever lost would have to walk home. And it was me and you that ended up losing, unfortunately, and we walked home. But in walking home, uh, Josh and Isaac were like driving around trying to find us, and they couldn't find us, and so that was kind of frustrating them, because they thought we were going to get a ride from somebody, to the point where there was a golf cart at our parents' house that they got in the golf cart and they started driving that around.
Mm-hmm.
And then driving that golf cart on a city street without a license plate ended up them getting pulled over by a police officer. And so that just made for a really, really funny story. And then one of the other really funny moments was, this is when you were quite a bit very little kid, and we were playing this game. It was called Museum Caper, where there's one person who's going around stealing paintings on its own hidden diagram, so nobody else can see where they're going. But after like 3 moves or whatever, you'd have to show that one of the paintings that was actually on our board was up and missing. And so I think I was the one who was stealing the paintings, and you were trying to figure out where it was. And you get a number of actions on your turn where you can ask a question, or you can figure out, like, are you in this area, whatever. And your question was asking me if one of the cameras could see me. And if you ask that particular question, your round is over, and you say, can camera 1 see you? And I said no. And then you're like, well, what about camera 3? But it's just that. And it's like, it's amazing how games elicit, like, just our human nature, but create laughter in that. And I'm really just trying. I think it's like, it's that creativity, to where sometimes when you're just sitting around talking, it doesn't really elicit anything new, or for our minds to be open in a very humorous way, or to where we're asking like just funny questions and those types of things. So I've been trying to think, is like, okay, so maybe I can go buy some like party games or family games or something like charades, or catchphrase or Pictionary, to where like you can actually see how we communicate. I also really think it's an opportunity to get to know people on a much better level once you kind of understand how they think, how they draw, how they act out, what they have to say. And I think oftentimes when you're just in normal conversation, where it's just conversational back and forth, where you're asking a question, they answer, you're asking a question, they're answering, it can feel very interview-like or very intimidating. Versus if you're playing games, it's like that desire to win and to try to explain things to the best of your ability. So, I mean, have you found any commonalities and things that create humor or laughter?
I think, I don't know, mainly for me, as of late, it's just finding the humor in everyday life. I mean, like, just setting yourself up with a mindset that enables laughter is huge, because you can, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, but kind of just like anything is funny because it's relatable to most people, and relatability is funny and being genuine is, I don't know. And I think the whole like setting yourself up for that in playing games is like it opens your mind up to creativity, and humor comes from creativity, and you kind of see the wheels turning as to sometimes it's not even necessarily the joke itself or whatever that was said was funny, but it's like, okay, I can see the process of how your brain went from this to this, and you know that person. So seeing how that person got from point A to point B is what's funny, not necessarily the destination that that statement came from, if that makes sense, I guess. But more so on the kind of setting yourself up for just to be able to laugh at life is kind of, I was telling you before the podcast, but I had a package get stolen today. Oh, it was either today or yesterday. It got delivered yesterday or whatever. And it got, so we have a mail room, and it was just a box, probably like a decently heavy box, maybe, I don't know. We could only imagine that somebody would probably think it was a piece of technology or something. It was from Amazon. It was probably, I don't know, a foot by a foot box, maybe. And it was probably decently heavy. And we were just thinking about it. It's like, man, I was like a little bit pissed off, but not too much. Cause I mean, I know Amazon's going to make things right or whatever. But then the afterthought of, it's like, man, I could just imagine being a porch pirate, stealing my package, getting my hopes all up, and then opening it up, and it's just a couple pieces of, like, blocks of fucking wood. Because, like, I've gotten into, like, it's called, like, whittling and carving. So it's just, like, these little 1 inch by 2 inch blocks of wood. And that's, like, that's, like, all that's in there. We were just talking about imagining somebody going through this package, like, getting their hopes up, thinking they like got something good, and then they just open it up and it's just blocks of wood, and they're like, man, what the fuck is this? just kind of being able to laugh at the situation and the fact that my package got stolen, and yeah, that sucks, but it's like still a funny thought that just comes from that, I guess.
Well, just think about it even more than this. Like, what if somebody is already paranoid, or they were like doing some type of drugs or something like that, and then they go and steal it, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is probably some of those prank shows where people actually set out fake packages.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and try to get it.
Yeah. And if not that, and then they start thinking like, man, who's just like ordering wood, you know? Like, who's just going on Amazon and buying wood? But it's like, I don't know, to do things like that, you need like a certain type of soft wood. It makes it easier to carve, but I don't know, it was just funny. But
Well, or just even think about this, like the Amazon rep that you call like Stephanie, and you're like, hey Stephanie, like I was supposed to get a package that got delivered yesterday and it didn't come. Okay, well Jake, you know what? We're gonna take care of that. And Stephanie looks like, Stephanie says, Bob, hey Bob, we got to replace this order. And be like, oh, okay, well, what is it? She's like, it's what? It's 2 inch by 1 inch wood.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is somebody ordering wood for?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, but I guarantee you that it probably got stolen. If it,
yeah. Well,
anybody just lied about not getting their wood.
yeah, we were just talking about it, and it's like, okay, well, I mean, surely the person will just like return it, because it's like they're not gonna want it, you know. It's like whoever's stealing packages is not gonna want pieces of wood, so I'm sure it'll just come back. But unless the only reason somebody wouldn't do that, I would think, is they're just too embarrassed the fact that they stole it and they just don't want to show face and return it. But yeah.
Or what if they took their dog in there and their dog thought it was a bone or something, and now the dog chewed it all up?
Maybe that's possible too.
Is there cameras in there?
Yeah.
Did you let the office know?
I mean, yeah, I let them know, but it's like the cameras aren't looking to see which I mean, I don't know which package was mine because the Amazon driver, he like stood at the door of the room, took a picture of like all the packages, so I didn't know which one was mine anyways. It's like, yeah, thanks, that's real specific.
Yeah. So this is what pisses me off because at our property, our our mailroom door is secured, which I'm assuming you have to have some type of control access to be able to get in it, right?
No, it's just wide open. If you can get into the
Oh,
apartment, you can get into the
oh
package
no.
room.
If you can get into the complex you're talking about, you can get into the package room.
Yeah. Like if you can get into
Oh
the actual
no.
building, the package room is just
So
wide
any
open.
guests could go in there to your package room.
Yeah.
Okay. And you want to tell everybody here your address so that they know that they
Yeah.
can go steal packages?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they would still need to get in the
um,
building, but that's proven to be not very hard, considering there was that one
right.
homeless
Where they
guy with
get
a
to the
shopping
part
cart that one
of
time.
but so so on my working end of it, I'll have somebody like you be like, hey, like I can't find my package. It
Hmm.
seems like it got stolen. I was like, okay, well, do you have a picture? Be like, yeah, see, it's here.
Yeah.
And there's only a picture of like 60 packages. Like,
Yeah.
well, which one is it? They're like, well, I don't know. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, me
Yeah.
either. Like, call freaking Amazon and ask them. Like, they didn't take a picture of your package. They took a picture of 50 packages.
Yeah.
They're like, well, some of these packages aren't here. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
and some of them are.
Yeah.
And I don't know which one was out of the ones that aren't. Like,
Yeah.
so it's like, what do you want me to do about it? Like, what package is missing? What are you going to do about it? It's like, I'm not going to do anything about it. Like, you're going to call
Yeah.
Amazon and you're going to talk to them. It's like, whoa, this is ridiculous. I can't believe that you guys allow packages to be stolen. It's like, holy cow, dude, this is an apartment complex. Just like if it was your house. If this was at your house and it got delivered to your front door and the package wasn't there, who would you call? Would be like, Mom, my package got stolen. What are
Yeah.
you gonna do about
Yeah.
it? It's like, no. You're gonna call the police? No. Like it's like it's not my responsibility that your package got stolen. And
Yeah.
that's what pisses me off about this industry is that everybody thinks that it's it's like I'm the property police. It's like, no, I'm the property management.
Hmm.
I'm not the property police. It's like, well, there's a dog up there barking, and it's like it seems like it needs help. It's like, then call what call animal patrol. Oh, well, I don't want to do that. Like, okay, what do you want me to do, dude? I don't have the keys to the apartment to go up there, pet the dog, feed the
Yeah.
dog, like help the dog. Like, okay, I get it. It's a noise violation. Okay, I'll reach out to the resident. We'll let them know that after 3 of these, we're going to send it over to the attorney and we'll start the eviction process. But it's like, I'm not going to be able to do anything to the situation right now, today, to be able to get this dog to stop barking. Like,
Hmm.
it's outside of my control, dude. And it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's why I wasn't really too worried about it. I figured I would just contact Amazon or it would just show back up, hopefully, because nobody wanted it. But yeah.
which in case you might have two now.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
Amazon shows me.
Yeah.
I wonder if anybody else reported their packages missing.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure as of late people have been reporting their packages missing because I mean there's a sign on the they now put a sign on the door that says that it's recording and they send out an email about something with the package room and stuff like that. So I'm sure it's been going on. But
That just happened recently.
within the last month or two. Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah.
If you know it's probably a resident that probably hasn't been paying rent for the last month or something like that, and they don't care.
Yeah.
They just have
Or
to
they're
push
moving
it.
out soon.
And first thing, roar that too. Oh, dude, this is a funny story. I don't think I ever told you about this. Okay, so our building, it's all controlled access. You have to have a fob to be able to get in, or you have a call box where you can call a resident's name. Okay, so there was this guy and his kids. They moved out, and there's actually a school right behind here, a high school right behind here. And so I'm assuming the kid that moved out went to this high school. But in our mail room, I don't know if I ever showed you that market that's there. Did you see that?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so we have essentially it's this huge bookshelf. There's a refrigerator, there's a freezer, and it's all accessible. So it's not like a vending machine where you put in money. It's like you can go grab it,
Mm-hmm.
go. But there's a self payment processor right there, and there's like 3 cameras right there. Okay, so it's like it's not so much just go
Right.
take whatever you want, and so this kid that used to live here,
Mm-hmm.
he would get here at like before the office opened at like 8 in the morning, and he would come behind a resident, and he would kind of, and I think the residents had probably seen him here before
Mm-hmm.
too, so they just never really thought anything about it. They opened the door, he follows them in, and he was going over to this market, and he was all the candy, and I'm talking like 20 Snickers bars, 30 Reese's, like eating all out, dude. He did this. He did this once before Christmas, and then the next time he came, he did it like 2 days in a row. And
Oh
then
wow.
the second finally, the property manager, he got there a little early. He gets there at like 8:30, and it was actually happening while he was in the office, but nobody else was there. And so he started turning, having the camera on his computer, and he went and he goes tell the kid doing it, and he goes out there, he's like, hey, you come back here, and the kid just ran off, and he hasn't been. And it was just like, dude, that kid realized that, hey, I'm not a resident here anymore,
Yeah.
so there's no way my dad can really get in trouble. I'm not going to be
Yeah.
held responsible or anything
Huh.
like that. And I don't know if he was going and selling the candy
At school.
But I mean, dude, he made out like a bandit.
Oh, yeah. 'Cause I mean, if you take those candy bars to school, I remember there was a ton of kids at school that would like sell candy bars and say it was for like a fundraiser or something, and people would pay like $2, $3 a candy bar depending on how big they were. It's like, yeah, I'm sure if he's stealing a bunch of them, he's making it out good.
Yeah. Which, I mean, you already know that there's an increase on those candy bars at
Oh
the
yeah.
property because that company's making money by selling them there or whatever.
Yeah.
Especially when there's a gas station right across the street, so
Mm-hmm.
they're going to be more than the gas station, I would
Yeah.
assume.
Oh yeah.
But
Definitely. That's funny.
yeah, I mean that's the issue, dude. If you get a resident that's moved out or they still have access to the building, they know where these spots are. And it's like, from a management standpoint, I would be super, super concerned and trying to figure out a new way for packages to get delivered in a new secure location. Because you guys have the box system there, don't you? Like the Amazon box system to where
Yeah.
packages can be put inside of that. The issue is that once all those boxes are full, they
Yeah.
got to put them somewhere else. And that's it. But that's not good to have that many packages unsecure. The only other option is then you put in the Amazon notes delivered to door. Do you guys have a ring device or anything like
No.
that?
No,
Okay.
I mean,
Are
yeah,
those
just
allowed?
yeah, they're allowed, but we don't have them.
Oh.
But I mean, yeah, if you start doing that, then it's just, I mean, somebody could just walk down a hallway and steal 30 packages at a time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really difficult situation to try to police, especially if you have a whole bunch of apartments and then you're paying one person to just deal with packages all day long for the holiday season. That is not fun at all, dude. Because you have thousands of packages. I had to come up with a plan last year of how we could keep it more organized and efficient, and it was not easy to do. It was a huge pain, just a huge pain. I did not like trying to figure out that.
Yeah. It's almost like
Yeah.
there needs to be a system where, because I mean, this has to be a thing nationwide with apartment complexes like this. It's like packages are getting stolen, guaranteed. I mean, there needs to be like a system developed that once you walk into the package room, once you walk out, if you walk out with a package, there needs to be like a camera of some sort showing that it is actually yours or scanned or something like that. Because I mean, you can't just have people going in not knowing which packages are which, people walking out, and yeah. You would think there would be a
Well,
system or something.
that would be really difficult to do. The best system that I have seen is it's a third party company. Their name is Fetch, FETCH. And so what happens is that all of the packages get sent to this third party warehouse, and then they have individual drivers, and there's this app system. Usually residents have to pay, I think, anywhere between $9 and $15 a month. And with this app system, you go and you decide what time you're going to be home. And now these third party like Uber drivers, food delivery drivers are then bringing them directly to your door in the evenings or whenever it is you're going to be home, knocking when you're there, and then you get the package. So Amazon, UPS, FedEx, they all deliver them to this warehouse, and then you get to pick what time your package gets. That's been the best system I've seen, and it seems to be a pretty good system. It's just inconvenient if you just want your package right now, whenever, and you're not. I mean, but it seems like once people have a few packages stolen, it's just like, okay, if I want to live in an apartment complex, then I really should be willing to pay this extra fee just to make sure my packages get delivered. But I mean, it's like you're paying $9 to $15 a month. That's up to $150, $175 a year to make sure your packages are getting delivered directly. Like, dude, it's like, it's a lot of money, dude.
Yeah, for sure. Especially just to make sure that people aren't stealing your packages. It's like, it's just, I mean, there's just not a good way of going about it. I mean, there's that, but that's inconvenient. There's no convenient, easy way. It's just annoying.
Just have to go back to the good old days where we actually shop in the stores.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to do that.
That's the thing. It's like I don't really ever buy anything online. Like the only thing that I bought online within the past, I would say 6 months or so, is this couple blocks of wood, the VR headset, and like the carving knives itself. But that's like it. And then one of them gets stolen.
Yeah, and out of all those things that got stolen, you should be 100% happy they got picked, not the Oculus headset. Because I remember talking to you about that. I was like, hey, like, is that coming? You're like, have you ever had issues with like the... Which is interesting because you said you couldn't get the package the day that it got delivered. How did that happen?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what happened. I think that it said that it got delivered, but it didn't actually get delivered, or it was they put it in that like the lock box where you have to put in the code and whatnot, but they never linked it to me or something like that. So I had to have one of the property manager people they had to open all of them and go through. Because I mean, it happened to other people too. Because there was a couple other residents down there when I was when I was going to look, and they also couldn't get their package. So, yeah, I would imagine it's just like a software issue.
Okay, so your lockbox is called Luxor, is that right?
No, it's like parcel pending or something like that.
Oh, parcel pending. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's not an actual Amazon. Okay, yeah,
Right.
That makes sense. And they had to open up every single one
and go through every one. Yeah.
That's no fun.
No. Definitely not.
But going back to the laughing and the enjoyment from events. So it's almost like the word games, right? So when you think, I think it's the word association with that term, like the things that you think about, you're like, oh, we're going to go play a game. And so that means we're going to have fun versus if it's like, oh, I'm going to go to work. It's like, oh, okay. Well, like there's no like enjoyment or laughter really associated with that word. So it's really interesting that just the word game, like, hey, you guys want to play a game, or just that label being created, what it does to our inner emotions and what it sets forth to be able to create, like even by saying something like that.
Yeah, it's just mindset. It sets you up for, I don't know, it puts you in the mood of having a good time, so therefore you have a better time and you laugh more.
Yeah. I think for a lot of adults, it's like, hey, you guys want to go drinking or like you want to go out to the bar? It's like, oh yeah, okay. Like, well, that's what good time means to them. That's what fun
Right.
means. So,
Yeah.
yeah. And I think that's one of the things growing up sports, why sports were so special. Like it was about getting to go have fun. Especially if you go to like a major league sport or something like that, like just um, hassle. What I guess razzing like the other team
Hmm.
and like telling them, "Hey, you suck," or like those types
Hmm.
of things. Like that's just fun.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable. Like just picking on these professional athletes.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it just sets up for play. It sets up for ideas like that creativity. It starts sparking, and I mean, laughter just comes from that, I guess. That's the way I look at it anyway.
And it's like you brought about creativity and that artistic form. It's just amazing, like just saying certain things, what gets us into that mindset where maybe we kind of our walls break down a little bit. It's like we're not so stiff where I have to be serious, and it's like,
Hmm.
oh, like I don't know what to say, and it's like, oh, we're gonna play a game now. It's like, oh, okay, like yeah, okay, like I can just be me, and it's I don't know, it's almost sad that sometimes it takes a game for people to realize that they're accepted and that they can just speak freely of their mind or their thoughts uh, to be able to share. Because I think if someone is shy, it can take a lot to be able to start talking or to be able to start sharing who they are, and sometimes they don't even know who they are, and it can take a while for them to understand that. I think communication is one of the big key roles in being able to explain yourself and figure out who you are. And the more you hold that in and the more you don't like just go out and put yourself out there, talk to people, it can be very difficult to understand that. And so I
Hmm.
think that's what's really cool about games is that it gives people a chance just to have that play the and to act, I guess,
Yeah.
because there's some people that are even timid and scared to even play games. Like I think our our sister was telling me about our little niece is like 3, right?
I think she's
Or
four
4.
four now.
Yeah, 4. And so she doesn't have brothers and sisters like we had growing up, to where there's a lot of people to be around, and so she just started playing t-ball.
Hmm.
And that very first game, like she was very, very, very timid, like
Hmm.
didn't really know anybody. This is the first time that she's out in public, and it's just like, holy cow, like some of us are still experiencing that even as adults. Like we haven't really been out much. We've always been around our family. At
Hmm.
school, we stayed to our own small little groups. And it's just like, it's overwhelming, dude, when our
Yeah.
senses are just not used to this. We're not used to these people. We don't know how to talk. We don't know how to communicate. But it's like, the more we do that, more enjoyable it can become.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, she can be used to being around all of us, but I mean, once you put her in a situation where it's like stimulation overload, basically, it's she just kind of frees up, and I mean, yeah, it's very different. And when you're a child, different is intimidating, almost always, because you don't really have any expectations. You don't know what to expect. You don't know what to do. Yeah, it's especially if you're such a little kid, it can be pretty scary.
Well, not even a little kid. Like, let's say my dynamic, right? So I'm working at a property that has 327 units. And let's say tomorrow, somehow I go to a property and they need help and they have 1,000 units and there's 10 people working inside of that property. Like, it's just like, holy cow, like what's going on here? Like there's a
Hmm.
lot of new things. I don't know a lot about this. So like the your senses can just be on high alert. Like, okay, what's this? What's that? What's it? Like just trying to figure everything out. Like
Mhm.
things are coming at you so fast. It's just like, holy cow, holy cow. Like this ball seems like it's moving, but it's just sitting there on a tee.
Mhm.
Oh, I just hit the ball. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Like I hit the ball. I hit the ball. I was like, yeah, run now. Oh,
Mhm.
where do I run? Like,
Mhm.
oh, there. Oh, okay. Well, how, well, what are they doing with the ball though? Like, why are they there? It's like,
Yeah.
there's all this stuff going on, and it's so cool to like go in through those learning experiences and just try to like comprehend all these things. And then, me and you were sitting here in our ages now, we actually completely understand baseball. And it's like, why did he do that? Like, why did he had him 0-2? Why were they throwing him like a
Mhm.
fastball, trying to throw him a fastball down the right side of the plate, and he just hit it over the fence for the home run? Like that was stupid.
Right.
Where where our little niece is just trying to figure out like, okay, like what do I do with the bat? How do I hold it?
Yeah.
Okay, I hit it, and then what do I do?
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. That's what I love so much about learning. It's just it's incredible, like how just our receptors and how we experience something new and like what it causes us to do in just an unnatural state, right? Like, and then after you do it over and over, and you're like, oh, okay, like now I understand. Yeah, this is comfortable.
Mhm.
And I almost wonder if that's what shyness really is if it's just having not experienced something enough to where we're used
Mhm.
to it. It's not so much a fear, but it's more so an inexperience of doing something in a repetitive manner to where we have the confidence to do it, or we have the understanding of how to play the game of what the rules are, and how what the process looks like to be able to progress through the game. And maybe
Mhm.
it's life, maybe it's cooking dinner. Like, like if you've never cooked dinner and you're cooking dinner for the first time, okay, let's start with a freezer meal. Maybe the next time, you know do the microwave first. Maybe the next time throw something in the oven. uh, Maybe the next time, you know use a recipe, your maybe hamburger helper, to where it's like ground the ground beef for this long. Well, what does ground mean? It's like, well, that was about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
This is burnt.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, what does boil the milk mean? It's like, that's when it bubbles. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, there's something special about being a beginner in pretty much anything cuz I don't know. You especially if you excel in a certain field of some sort, you kind of look back at the days and almost get a feeling of I don't know if it's necessarily nostalgia, but you just look back at the times where it's like, yeah, I didn't know what any of this was, and now you kind of know it like the back of your hand because you've done it so many times, but there's just still something so special about that learning that area of being a complete and absolute beginner and not knowing any of anything about it. And yeah, I don't know. To me, at least, there's something special about that and looking back and kind of seeing all the progress.
and that's what's, I would say, so special about so many things is that they don't require perfection, or there's no way to really perfect it, especially when it comes to sports like baseball. It's going to come, there's somebody who's going to pitch here, somebody's going to pitch there. There's nobody that ever hits 1,000. Like, it just doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball's the same way. If you're a painter, if you're a musician, like you're not playing the same song, or it's just
Mm-hmm.
like played it perfectly. There's no perfection in it, and I think that's what makes it so special and wanting to come back for more. Like, especially you hear so many of these people playing golf, and they're out there throwing clubs, they're pissed off, and then the 18th hole they hit it to like 3 feet and they make their bars like, yeah, and then that's what keeps them coming back
Yeah.
time over time again. It's that one good shot, and like it is there to get better from those 105 bad shots, or
Yeah.
whatever it may be.
Yeah, which actually reminds me is today I was driving from one job site to another, and there's like a little, I don't know if it's like a 9-hole course or if it's a full 18, but there's like a little golf course in between two of the job sites. And it was like it's right across from a high school or an elementary school or something. So it's like a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit zone. So I'm sitting there driving in the truck. I look to my right. There's a guy teeing off, him and a couple buddies. He tops the balls out of one, doesn't go off the tee box. I just see him turn around, throw his club, just tosses it up in the air, and it's just like, yep, been there. It was just so funny because you can just imagine. It's like, yep, that guy's having a rough day. But just being able to see that and just topped it, didn't go more than 10 yards, I would say. He just turns around and is like, yep, I'm done. Just throws his club in the air. Yeah, that happened today. That was a good part of my day.
So you got a package stolen,
Mm-hmm.
and which was frustrating to you, and then you got to watch somebody else experience their
Yeah.
own frustration.
Yeah.
See how funny
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah. Good times.
No, it's just I think as we get older, sometimes life just can get so difficult and so stressful where we forget to laugh. And that's something that I just don't really ever want to lose sight of. Like
Mm-hmm.
laughter is so important to me. And today I was thinking, it's like, man, like board games used to be really, really fun. But it's like the issue is that they were fun at the beginning, and then I started getting these really difficult board games to where it was just like, oh, dude, these are really hard, and now
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to win, and they're not as fun as they were because now it's just like you got to remember all of these rules and all of these things, and now the whole process is about winning, and you play one game, and so then I want to play another game, and so then you go and you have like what 50 board games, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like, oh my gosh, or it's like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
and I think we talked about this previously. That's one of the things that I've struggled to find humor and comedy with is that the sense of creativity seems to be lost. And I can't really pinpoint what it is, but I don't really find things as funny as I used to. And I don't know why that is in terms of what I listen to or what I hear. And I think oftentimes it's because it's so forced or manipulated versus things that come naturally
Mm.
and are relatable to us. Like, just the things that happen on a day-to-day basis, like losing an Amazon package that was
Mm-hmm.
packed with 2 pieces of wood versus
Yeah.
whatever else they might be saying.
Yeah. Yeah. I think for me, it's just mindset and being in just a happy enough mindset, or not even necessarily happy sometimes, just opening the possibility for laughter and not being too stressed out or too worried about anything. And just if it comes, then it comes. And if the laughter doesn't come, then it didn't. But just being open to it potentially coming I think, is probably huge for me.
Well, something that's interesting to me is that my mind is heightened in the mornings, and so I'll admit in the morning I wake up at 4:30 and I take a pre-workout. Now I don't take a lot; I take half a scoop, which still is like
Mm-hmm.
usually right around 175 grams or something. So I'll go to the gym, and then like right after the gym, it's like my brain has all these ideas. So that's when I'm always writing down all my ideas, my LinkedIn posts,
Mm-hmm.
my work ideas, my comedy ideas, my vacation ideas, my all these things. That's like when it's hot. But like, dude, I'll be honest. Sometimes when we get so late into this podcast, like today, I had this whole thing planned out about how I was going to be able to explain Chat
Mm-hmm.
GPT and share it early in the morning, and I was like all set. And then like work, and then I get here, and I'm just like, oh, dude, like I forget so much of that material. To where it's
Mm-hmm.
like I know I just had like some caffeine that I'd be get pumped up, and I can go
Right.
do it. But it's like, holy smokes, like my mind isn't in a advantageous spot to probably create that laughter, to create that humor, to be able to do it. So it's really cool. It's interesting how our emotions, our thoughts, our energy levels. And, you know, my diet has changed drastically over the past 2 to 3 years. Like my health habits, like my sugar intake was so big, like
Mm-hmm.
years ago, to where it messed with my emotions. And I think if you look back on those types of things, like sugar consumption and like depression and anxiety, for me, it was just like I was getting those highs, and then I would get those lows where I was just so pumped up on sugar for a few minutes, and it tasted so good and it felt so good, but then it would just go,
Hmm.
or like,
Yeah.
I mean, drinking was always fun. Like I always really enjoyed drinking in my mind. It came from that. But
Hmm.
then the next day, just waking up and feeling lethargic,
Yeah.
that never really felt good. So I never really saw negative effects of drinking other than how I would feel the next day. I never really had a hangover or anything, but it was like, ugh. I get like dry mouth and stuff. 'Cause I never drank a super lot.
Yeah.
It always seemed to help with my sense of humor to find things way more funny. Like I could just like walk out on my deck and be looking at people and just like be like, oh, I wonder what they're doing, and just
Mm-hmm.
like my mind would get really creative and be like, oh, that's kind of funny. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Just opening your mind to the possibilities of everything that could be going on. Yeah.
Right. I mean, it all comes to mindset, right? And placing ourselves in the right positions, having that positive mindset, allowing our mind to be open to laughter and not so stringent. It's like, oh, I'm angry right now, so I can't laugh at anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like even if Chad comes to Savory and we're going to eat, and he talks about out at work, he backed over a mailbox and broke it down, and then put the mailbox back up on the post and then tied it. Like I'm not gonna laugh about that. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
we have control over that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a huge part of humor. Like I've said multiple times now, but yeah.
But I think also growing up in a small town, I think it's so, I don't know. I think it's like humor is so much more important because you have to have that sense of creativity to not just get absolutely bored out of your mind. Like you're gonna have to be an athlete, you're gonna have to be an artist, you're gonna have to be a musician because there's nothing else to do. It's not like you can just go out and hang out and party and do everything. It's like you got to figure stuff to do that you just like to do
Mm-hmm.
that brings you happiness on your own, and figure out what those things are. Because if you don't find that, you're just going to be sitting around with absolutely nothing to do. You're going to be bored out of your mind, and
Mm-hmm.
it's not, your life's not going to be enjoyable at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that.
And I know for me, it's like that's something that I actually miss about life, because it's like there's so much going on right now with technology and life. It's like, what should I do? What should I do? It's like, oh my gosh, I just wish that I could go back to where it was like there's only one or two options
Mm-hmm.
and that's it. But it's like, well, I can allow myself to do that. I'm just getting way too overwhelmed with all the options. I got to go back to the things that I do enjoy and like cut all the other stuff off. You know what I mean? Like I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, I don't have a TV, because that would just be another absolute distraction of,
Mm-hmm.
dude, all the channels that are on TV, like all the things that you could watch.
Yeah.
I could watch YouTube, I could watch Instagram, I could watch TikTok, and I could just swipe and see what comes up, and I could watch a movie, and I could watch all these TV shows, or I could read a book, or
Mm-hmm.
I could listen to a podcast. It's like it's not just one podcast or one movie; it's hundreds and thousands. It's like, oh my gosh, dude, there is so much information to consume and be entertained by, to where it's overwhelming.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's like even going to the store sometimes. It's like you go to Walmart and you're like, okay, I'm gonna go get some, I don't know, I'm gonna go get some spices to cook or something. And then you go to Walmart and you're looking for, let's say you're looking for like garlic garlic, onion, or I don't know, something, chili powder. You go and you see all the spices. There's every spice you can possibly think of. Okay, let's look for the chili powder. Okay, there's chili powder. Oh, there's like 7 different brands, and there's chili powder plus this, chili powder plus that. And it's like, Just give me one brand of chili powder, one or two brands, and that's it. Don't give me 30 million different options for everything. It's like it's so I don't know, it's so dystopian almost. It's just like you don't need a million choices for every single thing in your life. Just get like one or two choices and that's it. Simple. But it's like so overstimulating and it's yeah, I don't know. That's something that we have definitely noticed as of late. It's just going to the store to get one simple thing and you end up with a million options.
That's interesting because when I go grocery shopping, it's very, very easy. I go and I look at all the chili powders and I see which one is the cheapest per ounce. It's like, all right, well, that's it. It's like, I don't really read any of the things that are on it or
uh,
anything like that. What's the cheapest one? All right, we're trying this one. If it's not bad, then I'll come back and get another at some other point in time. But that's all it is.
yeah. Yeah, I guess there's that too. But like I was gonna say, there's just something so special about just putting your phone, putting your TV, just shutting it all off. Like especially on the weekends, like if somebody needs to contact you, they know how to contact you, but just stay off your phone, stay off technology. It's so there's something so freeing about it, and just kind of going on a hike or walking or playing a game or a board game or like tennis or just doing whatever and just kind of being present. It's there's something very freeing in that.
But it's not just being present, it's creating, right? Like if
Yeah.
you're not on your phone, if you're not on TV, if you're just out looking, whether it's going on a hike or maybe you're just meditating, like you're creating in your mind, you're creating thoughts.
Hmm.
You're not consuming. If you're going on a hike, you're experiencing the things around you. I remember you were sharing, I don't know if this was a podcast episode from the previous, but you were out talking about like watching squirrels and
Mm.
like just seeing what they're doing. Like
Yeah.
yeah, and see, for me, like that was something that was interesting. Like when I used to drink, because I could like drink and I would like look at a squirrel, and then I all these thoughts would come in my mind, be like, huh, I wonder what this squirrel is thinking.
Hmm.
Like, I wonder what he's envisioning me as, and be like,
Yeah.
huh. Like, he's over there like talking about me. He's like, oh, look at that idiot. Like, wonder what kind of shirt's that.
Yeah.
Just like this squirrel, and just having like those types of thoughts in my mind and stuff, and
Yeah.
like animals, just like how they think. Like they're out there in habitat. They're not consuming anything. They're just surviving.
Hmm.
Like, and it's like if we go back to that like survival mode, like what would our life actually be like?
Yeah. Very different. Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Anything else you have to add on to this episode?
Let's see. No, I don't. I don't think so. I mean, life is all this journey that we've talked about back and forth, and I'm really trying to stay focused on enjoying it every single day. And so for me, like it's got to be trying to do new things, like going out on adventures. Like I just get so habitual to where
Hmm.
I'm doing the same thing over and over and over again because it's like um, repetitious. Is it habits or what? What is it when you do the same thing every single day?
Yeah.
Ritualistic, whatever it might be. But I just get stuck in that. And it's like, no, I can't go. I can't go to Busch Gardens because I lift on the weekends.
Hmm.
It's like I can't go play golf. I lift on the weekends because that's what I do. That's who I am. It's
Hmm.
like I can't stay up past 8:30 because I wake up at 4:30, and it's just like,
Hmm.
oh my gosh, Chad, like breathe. It's like, no, I can't
Hmm.
go on vacation because I don't have any vacation time, and I got this, and it's like, no, you can, like, you have plenty of vacation time, and it's like, oh my
Hmm.
god, like, just thinking about all the new experiences that I could go do if I would actually choose to go do them, if I would get myself in that mind. And I think sometimes it has to do with, well, what am I going to get out of it? Like, what if I go do this and I don't enjoy it? It's like I look at that as a loss versus just going and experiencing things and trying new things. not focused on the end result. And that's what I'm really trying to shift my mind and focus on to. And I think the main point is always trying to have that laughter aspect of it, have that game.
Yeah.
But sometimes that can be difficult if you don't have a support group or other people to be around. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about having a good mind. Yeah, it's one thing, but all the times that I've laughed and my huge moments of laughter have been way more enjoyable when there's other people laughing
Yeah.
with me
Definitely.
and just laughing our asses off together. Like that's something that's really special.
Yeah. Yeah. Well said.
No, that's all I have for this week.
That is all I have for this week as well.
So it's warming up in the United States here. That's something that's special for everybody who's probably tuning into this podcast. And so I guess I wish everybody has a good summer. I think that sun, that warm sunshine can bring out a lot of happiness, whereas you get that cold, dreary rain, coldness, which I'm thankful I live in Florida and I don't get much of that, but it is getting hot down here. So it's like the reverse role, which where it's like, oh, it's so hot. It's so like I'm mad. I'm frustrated. It's hot.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Just trying to share positivity and laughter, and one day at a time.
Yeah, for sure. Alrighty.
Thanks everybody.
Yep.
Thanks for tuning in. I wish you guys a good week. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
See you, everybody.